Hello, everyone. So, it all began one quiet evening at the dining table, surrounded by books, pencils, and my children's laughter. As I was helping my son with his homework, he suddenly looked up and said, Mama, have you ever been to school? That question stopped me because for over a decade, I was not a developer or in tech. And so I'm Kaukab Farrukh, and this is my journey of reclaiming my position in tech at the age of 36. That question may sound small, but for me, it was a moment of truth. Because I had been to school, I had my studies in computer and IT, but my own child had never seen that version of me. For over 12 years, I was a full-time homemaker. My life was filled with love, care, and family. But somewhere along the way, I quietly let go of my own dreams and eventually my own self. Then I moved to Sweden. And something inside me changed. For the very first time, I was able to ask myself, who am I beyond being a mother? That was a moment everything began to shift, but stepping back into tech felt like stepping into a world already in fast motion. AI was rising, technology was evolving, and everything was moving extremely fast. I felt the pressure. The pressure of age, the pressure of starting again, and the pressure of not being enough. But I made a decision, not because I felt ready, but I knew that staying the same is no longer an option. Not for anyone or for myself, but for my daughter as well. So I made a decision and took a leap of faith. It was not easy. I was surrounded by people much younger than me. Learning things felt like completely new again. I find myself in a world already moved ahead. I felt the pressure deeply, but I kept going. And instead of that pressure letting me stop, I let it push me. And step by step, that pressure became my momentum. Soon I fell in love with technology. I became software and AI developer. I started teaching data and AI. I worked with organizations like Microsoft. Yes, I worked with organizations like Microsoft, and I spoke in stages to empower women. I also contributed to Ung Data Tech, supporting youth in tech. And yes, somewhere along the way, I also got my driver's license on my very first attempt. Not because everything was ready or I figured it all, but because I kept showing up, I kept learning, and I did not stop. I want to say something important here. This journey of mine was not just walked alone. My husband stood beside me. He believed in me when I doubted myself, because empowering women is not only a woman's effort, it's something we build together. Today, my children see a different version of me, a version that learns and grows. And my son, who once asked a life-changing question, sees the answer every single day. So my journey is not about returning to tech. It's about reclaiming my place. It's a proof that it's never late to learn again, to reinvent yourself, to start again, and to inspire others along the way. Because courage does not always roar. Sometimes it's a small, quiet voice that says, try again tomorrow. Thank you.